Hello, and welcome to the other side of the kitchen table, towels from the toilet bowl. Today we're going to talk about something that happened to us because of an e-cigarette. We thought that going for an e-cigarette instead of smoking the real things that
No, it wasn't. It was because we didn't have any tobacco.
hang on, would be better for us. So we were given an e-cigarette, and we thought that it'd be better for our health without smoking all the cigarettes, and we ran out of tobacco that week.
On top of Christmas.
Right on top of Christmas. It was just before we got our Christmas pay, so you can imagine.
Pardon me.
Not only were we stressed to the max because it was right on top of Christmas, it was hell. And then when we got our Christmas pay, we got some tobacco. But because we've been smoking the e-cigarette, we thought, we'll cut it down on the tobacco and stick with the e-cigarette. That was...
the worst idea ever?
Well, on Christmas Eve, I started to get little blisters on the inside of my mouth. And I didn't really take too much notice. You could burst them just by pressing on them with your finger or on the tip of your tongue. And I was getting a bit disorientated and dizzy, but I didn't really think much of it. And then New Year's Eve rolled round. And Kaylee woke up. She's fine. And then as the day wore on, her face started to blow up.
One side
on one side. She looked like the Elephant Man on one side of her face. And it started to get really, really painful. In fact, when someone tried to kiss her, she was actually shouting and saying that it was too painful. So, it's New Year's Eve, it's about 10 o'clock in the evening, we're sitting there watching Frozen.
Was it Frozen I was watching?
Yeah, and Kaylee was in absolute agony. Kaylee was in absolute agony. So we went on the internet to see if there was a chemist that was open at that time on New Year's Eve, and luckily there was. And it was quite a walk.
I thought it was New Year's Day.
No, it was New Year's Eve. And it was within walking distance. So, me and someone I'm not going to mention had to go running down to the chemist, which was the other side of West Ham Football Stadium. Now, where we live is nearer to Barking than East Ham. We're almost in Barking.
Yeah.
That is quite a walk. That's about 2-3 miles. And we run most of it. Me running. Yeah, hysterical. But we run most of it.
I didn't go with you because I was in too much pain.
Yeah, most of it we run.
No, I was taking ibuprofen and it wasn't working.
And bearing in mind this is New Year's Eve and we've just been watching Frozen, I didn't get to watch the end of it, so I was singing Let It Go while running. And there were like drunk people going, yeah, let it go, let it go, yeah, let it go. So...
Is that what it's like?
Was.
Let it go, let
No, because I was out of breath and I was like gasping out. Let it go, let it go, can't hold it back anymore. And we ran, well, I ran as well, and we made it to the chemist 10 minutes before it closed. And I managed to get some
Orajel
and propane. I asked for the strongest painkillers.
Sulfadine, there was Sulfadine.
I managed to get Sulfadine and Orajel. So we run back, and we literally made it back just before midnight.
On New Year's Eve, so...
On New Year's Eve. So we got in, dosed her up as quickly as we could, filled up our glasses and went out and saw in the new year.
I had Coke. I wasn't allowed to drink on Sulfadine.
So she saw in the new year with Coke.
That never happens.
And we saw the new year in. By the following day, her face was still a bit swollen, but not as bad as it was, and she was out of pain. Mind you, she was so high on Sulfadine, I don't think she wasn't feeling any pain at all.
I did have to take some more later on that day because my face started to hurt again.
She wasn't feeling much of anything. And I said, what do you think it was? And the only thing we could put it down to was the e-cigarette. So I said, look,
Yeah, because I was getting dizzy as well.
I
wasn't
know
I?
you don't like it, but we've got to find out what it is. So we laid off the e-cigarette for about 3 days. Her face had gone down. We were all okay.
And I had no pain anymore.
And then I said, right, we're going to try with this
It
e-cigarette.
was really
again.
hard though, as well, wasn't it? It's like, if I touched my face, which I didn't want to do, but like obviously because I was like that, because it was really painful. It was like really, really hard. Like it felt like I had a stone in my mouth. It was that hard, and it was sort of like I could move it. So it was like I was doing that because obviously I was trying to work out what it was. It was painful, and when I went like that, it was like fluid, wasn't it? So it was like massive. It was hard. But it was like sort of you could push it and it was like fluid. So I don't know.
So anyway, after the swelling had gone down, this is about 3 days later, we used the e-cigarette for a day. And I said, how do you feel? And it started to swell again, and before it could get to any great degree, I said, right, it's the e-cigarette that's doing it.
Yeah.
So we stopped with the e-cigarette. We haven't touched it since.
But I think what happened was the oil, I think it was leaking a bit, and I think I'm allergic to the oil in it, so that was probably why.
So we got rid of the e-cigarette, and after that, it must have been like the 4th of February, I believe. We were looking on the internet, and this guy had one blow up in his pocket, another guy had it blow up in his face. There were reports of people losing teeth because of them. And
they do get hot, because when we were smoking it, we were saying about it getting hot.
Yeah, and I said to the doctor about it, and he said, we've had quite a lot of that.
Yeah.
And he said, e-cigarettes are not a good idea. And I said, well, what are we going to do? Because we're trying to cut down on smoking. And he went, smoke less. He went, just smoke, but smoke less.
Yeah, because he said, I said, I can't. I said, I've got an allergic reaction to the oil. And he said, well, the only thing I can suggest to you is keep smoking. He went, it's the healthier solution for you. So everyone's telling me to stop smoking because it's bad for you. And then he says, carry on smoking.
And the thing is, she smokes heavier than I do.
Yes.
Because I make little film.
I have more stress than she does.
I make prison ones.
Yeah,
they're not very...
Yeah, she usually makes ones that are sort of like, they're kind of thick here and then they sort of go down into a point.
Yeah, because the
Spear.
filter.
It's a spear cigarette.
So I smoke less than she does.
Yeah, I like my fat ones.
She makes big fat ones. So that is one of the dangers of an e-cigarette. I mean, I don't know. Comment if you've had problems with an e-cigarette, because we'd love to know if anyone else has had problems.
I'm not just a weirdo.
No, because you didn't blow up on you or anything.
Oh, and also we got 2 new subscribers.
Yeah, so we're up to 13. So please.
I wanted to say that, but okay.
So please subscribe. We're just in teens. Can we get us to the 20 so we've sort of grown up? Please.
And thank you. I don't know who you are. Like anonymous subscribers. Thank you.
Thank you as long as you subscribe.
Okay.
I don't know who you are.
No, don't.
Where you go.
This is because yesterday when I was testing her, I played pop. Now she's gone all weird and poppy on me.
As long as you subscribe.
That's worth a subscription. That's worth a subscribe.
So, that is the dangers of an e-cigarette that we encountered.
We're not stopping the video here because it's only
No, I know we're
long.
not. But that's what we encountered with an e-cigarette. So if you've had any problem with an e-cigarette...
Can you stop manspreading now?
I'm trying not to. I'm sort of hanging off the chair here. So if you've had problems or anything like that, let us know in the comments. We want to know because, as I say, for us, that was like...
horrific.
Yeah, and that was New Year's Eve.
Because I was panicking as well because I didn't know what was going
it's
on.
always New Year's Eve or New Year's Day that stuff happens
And
to us.
my mum had made this pizza because, like we said, she makes a special pizza made with puff pastry that I absolutely adore because the crust is filled with cheese. Anyway, I'm going off a tangent.
Yeah.
I digress. But she makes like this really nice pizza, and I had me and someone had half of this pizza each, and it was made in like a big baking tray. So we had half of this pizza each, and we was eating it, and it was fine. And I was like eating in a really weird way because I always eat with my mouth closed, and I couldn't because it was too painful.
Well.
And I said to my mum, I went, I don't want to do this. And she went, what? I went, I said, I can't eat with my mouth closed. And she went, well, eat how you can. And I said, well, it's going to be with my mouth open. And someone was sitting opposite me, and I went, this is going to be really disgusting. I apologise. I said, but I can't actually help it. And no, it's fine. He went, if you're in pain, he said, you need to eat. He said, just eat however you have to eat. And I was like, okay. And I was like eating like a cow grazing. Like, nyang.
But
it was horrible.
as I say, that's the problems we had. Have you had problems? You know,
But honestly, it was so painful. I couldn't even function properly. I was like, and it was that big that I could see out the corner of my eye. And I was like, oh wow, okay, that's
I went
insane.
to church and I had these blisters on the inside of my mouth, and I stood up, and Mark had to catch me because I nearly went down again.
I was really
so dizzy and disorientated.
I was really dizzy as well. I mean, I don't know what it was. I
mean,
don't know what's in them oils, but they're not good.
I get dizzy anyway because of the MG I suffer from, but this was like worse.
I don't know what is in them e-cigarettes, but it's that oil is not good. It's not.
No, so
Even if the doctor even said that to carry on smoking, you know that there's something wrong.
So let us know, you know, if you had experience with an e-cigarette.
And he prodded around my face, and he said, well, it's gone down now. And I was like, yeah, well, if it hadn't, I would have screamed at you because it's actually hurting. And he's like poking me in the face. And he's like, oh, it seems to have gone down. I was like, yeah.
So let us know if you've had an experience.
Well, they couldn't. We told them what happened. We told them that it was swollen, that it was huge, and it was hard, and that it felt like fluid. And he couldn't tell us what it was. He went, well, we've had issues with e-cigarettes, but no one's had that. And I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, so you're a bit strange, but let us know if you've had anything.
Yeah, it says she who's got MG.
And?
Yeah. What is it? 1 in how many million?
1 in several. But let us know in the comments if you've had any kind of experience like that, because
I was having to drink tea through a straw, and it was coming out the other side. It was horrible.
I keep telling them that I'm a rare and precious gem, and nobody believed me. And then I've got MG.
This is really disgusting, okay? This is going to gross a lot of people out. It's probably going to stop me from ever getting a boyfriend as well. But I dribble in my sleep, right? I do.
A lot of people do.
And when my face was the size of a bowling ball, it was like a river. I got up, and I think it was you, came in my bedroom, and you sat on the bed and you put your hand on the pillow and you ugh. And I was like, hey, sorry.
And bear in mind, there is a Disney princess who dribbles in her sleep, Anna. And she also is very clumsy, has trouble pronouncing her words.
Yeah.
And he's sort of ginger. We're going to meet someone who's got a reindeer. And we're going to Finland.
Oh, God. I said I wanted a
We're
Finnish
going to meet
boyfriend.
someone who talks to reindeers.
All right, great. But he can sing too, so that's okay. I don't mind that.
But let us know in the comments
It's going to be Vinny Velo.
Shut up a minute. I don't think you've got a reindeer. Let us know in the comments if you've had problems with e-cigarettes or anything like that. And if you have things that happen over New Year and Christmas when nearly everything is shut. Because we've had lots of weird little uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, the worst one I think was when I was 11. I'm not going to go into that.
She became a lady on New Year's Day when everything was shut in Southend.
I became a lady.
2.5 hours looking for knickers and a chemist.
We found it.
We found eventually, yeah, we found it, but so you know, it's always New Year or some awkward time when things are all closed. I don't know what it is with us and that kind of thing. So yeah, so let us know if you've had awkwardness over.
I've had
the
several
holiday.
awkwardness over the holidays.
I know.
So.
So let us know in the comments because we don't want to be the only ones. Like when we lived in Southend and we ran out of electric on Christmas Eve.
God, yeah.
Ran out of electric Christmas Eve, and it was about 11 o'clock at night, and Asda's was closed. Everywhere was closed. We had to walk into Southend.
Yeah, we lived in Shrewsbury,
one
so it's
stop.
quite a way away.
Yeah, about 6 miles.
Yeah.
And we had to walk to one stop in Southend.
That
Town
wasn't
Centre.
me though.
No, that was me and Mark.
Yeah.
And we got back and sort of collapsed. And Kaylee was on the computer and she just said, my mum's just walked in because she's just walked 6 miles. And we got, why, woman, why? And it was like, to get some electricity on the key.
Who said that?
I think it was Lucifer's chocolate box, or it was Sheila Hill, or Linda Hill, sorry. Or someone.
I don't know.
Someone you was talking to.
Anyway, if we had no electric, I was talking to them.
Because we had 2p.
That's how.
So we knew
It
it
was
was
like
going to
magic
go.
telepathic talking.
It was going to go. It was just a matter of when. So we had to do a run. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you've had problems like that.
We've had many.
We have many. Like the day the cooker broke on Christmas Eve. I had the bird in the oven and the rail on the new oven that I'd only got a month before decided to break.
We managed to fix it though with electrical tape.
Electrical tape and foil
Electrical tape and foil.
and prayers. And
But it worked.
we stuck it all back together and
The funny thing is,
lasted.
it's still actually like that with electrical tape and foil.
no, it's still broken.
Yeah, it's still got electrical tape and foil around
Yeah,
it.
because it wouldn't come off because it melted. But yeah, so
It works though, you can still use it.
just about. So yeah, have you had a problem like this?
Holds pizzas and stuff.
I know that some people, there was flooding in. Go on, you can say it because I know you think it's so funny.
Oh, cocking mouth.
Yeah, Cockermouth. There was flooding over Christmas in Cockermouth, and people were asking, could you barbecue? I can't say the T word because there are cats out here, but
They know what it is and
they
that
had to
sounds weird.
barbecue the Christmas bird. And
It went horribly wrong for a few people.
yeah, and some people, lucky ones who had caravans to go away for holidays in, and that,
Yeah, but who
were
would
cooking
do
their
that?
stuff on the car gas bottle in the caravan.
I saw this guy, right, and he filled up as, what's it called? Do you know the metal barrels? A metal barrel. With oil and stuck the bird in it. Why would you do that?
Because the Americans fry it.
I wondered why it didn't work, because it blew up.
The Americans usually fry them.
This wasn't an American, it was an English person. They obviously didn't know what they were doing, because it blew up.
Yeah, but you try anything, don't you? When you're desperate situations.
No.
call for
What did
desperate
we do? What did
measures.
we do? We used to fry stuff. We used to fry. We had when we first moved in here, right? Because the oven wasn't working.
The oven broke.
My mum made a roast dinner and she fried everything. It was so fattening. It was so nice. Like we had pork, belly pork, and she fried the belly pork. And I tell you what, that bacon, the bacon, it wasn't bacon, the what's it called? Crackling. The crackling on that was absolutely gorgeous because it was so crispy, and because she cooked that in butter, and she fried the potatoes.
Hard boiled and then fried.
Yeah, I don't
Quick
usually
roast.
like that, but they were crispy, so I was like, okay,
Quick roast.
let you get away with that. Obviously she could do the vegetables and that because they were just boiled, but the whole thing was done.
And she complained because we couldn't have Yorkshires. I hadn't worked out a way to fry them.
The whole thing was done by frying it. We must have got really fat because everything was fried.
Yeah, but we also drained it well.
Yeah, but we had fried food for like... How long was it broke off? About a year?
No, it wasn't that long.
Well,
We
6
moved in
months
in
then.
March.
We'll say 6 months.
We moved in the March. It broke in the April. May, June, July, August, September, October, November. And we got it done at the beginning of December.
8 months. So 8 months of fried food and nothing else, which is
It was
what we
boiled
were
as
having.
well.
Yeah, but meat and stuff we were frying.
Well, we didn't have much meat.
And like
We were
obviously
almost vegetarians.
eggs and things were being fried. We had boilie eggs as well, but most of the stuff, the majority of the stuff that we were having was fried. And don't get me wrong, I love fried food, but jeez, it was bad for us.
But we did get a George Foreman.
We did get a George Foreman.
And we were doing burgers and stuff and sausages on.
Yeah,
George
to
Foreman.
leak some of the fat out that we were getting from the frying stuff.
So,
But the bacon, don't ever do bacon on a George Foreman because it gets stuck. And then you.
So yeah, we had that little issue. We had
But-
quite a few issues when we first moved.
One thing actually, this is really, really interesting. I'll show you how to do it. If you've got a George Foreman, I will show you how to make toasties. Because we had a toasty machine and it got lost in the move. Like, this is an old toasty machine. And. Oh, did you give it away? Well, my mum gave it away. And I was like, I want a toasty. And I couldn't do a toasty because we didn't have anything to do a toasty on. I was like, right, okay, I'm going to try it in a George Foreman. And I'm so glad I did because it came out so. I will show you how to do it. It's so nice. It takes a bit longer because, like, obviously we had a double toasty machine and we ain't got it anymore. But it just, yeah, it's really good. But you can't do an egg in it because I tried that.
There's also the American style grilled cheese sandwich as well, which you do in the frying pan.
I can do them as well.
So, yeah.
But with them, there's a tiny bit of oil. A lot of people don't.
You just paint the bread with it.
Yeah, a lot of people just. Or butter. Butter's even better. But most people just go. And it's like, you drowned it now. It's inedible now.
The trick is to use very little oil and cook it over a low heat.
And to be honest, because you're using so little oil or butter, we'll use butter because we like butter. Because you're using such a small amount of it though, it's less fattening than if you have like fried bread, isn't it? Or it's less fattening than a lot of things. It's less fattening than if you just like have a full English breakfast or something.
You
It's
can
really good.
either use the cooking spray that just lightly coats the pan. You can brush it with oil or butter. Or the easiest way of all, spread both sides of the bread.
We've done it every way.
We've done it every way imaginable.
Also, once we actually painted the pan with oil because we had no marge or anything, and we had like cheese and bread. So we was like, okay, we'll make some grilled cheese sandwiches, and we was like, how are we gonna do this? We'll paint the pan with oil, and it worked really well. So there's several different ways you can do it. I'll teach you how to do it on the George Foreman.
We're both in summertime.
You can like literally. I had in one once. I had bacon. I had chicken. I had cheese. Didn't I? It was like that. But obviously, when you crush it down, it's like that. But it was so good. And I made my mum one, and she was like, "Oh!" And the tuna melts. She loves the tuna melts. I usually do them in the oven though. They're easy as well.
But you know, there are ways and means. But these are our disasters that we've had.
There's so many.
Yeah, like when we had, it was the beginning of December, and the gravity tank went. We had it was cascading down the stairs. Worst thing was, I was sitting on the settee, I was wrapping presents. We were watching Michael McIntyre's
Yeah,
Big
I
Night
was.
Out.
I come home from work and I wasn't feeling very well because I was working at Winter Wonderland, and I was waiting for someone to come home, and I was laying on the sofa. I was wrapped up in my cover. I was a bit upset and feeling sorry for myself because I wasn't well at all, and I was getting really badly treated, wasn't I? So I was just like, I told my mum all about it, and she went, okay. Well, she went, lay down on the sofa. She went, he'll be home soon. I said, okay. She went, lay down on the sofa, cover yourself up. She went, and sit there and watch Michael McIntyre because he always makes you smile. And I was like, okay. So I was laying on the sofa, I was like that, under my cover, watching Michael McIntyre.
I was wrapping presents, and then all of a sudden the telly went off, and I went.
It started flickering. I was like, okay, that's not right. And then it just went off, and I was like,
Mark,
Mum, is the telly broke?
Mark, can you sort the telly out? So Mark was over there messing around with the plugs. And he went out in the hallway and he went, Andy, there's a load of water cascading down the stairs. I went, what?
And then we heard it.
And then we heard it, and then we moved everything electrical that was in the dining room over to the living room side. And we could see the actual wallpaper that was on the ceiling sagging where it was filling up with water, and then it went.
The thing is, I went outside and I didn't know what was going on, and I heard a massive crash. And the shock of it, I started crying. I was like, I didn't know what was going on.
And it was the actual wallpaper that was on the ceiling giving way under the weight of the water. And that was all dangling down. It was
Luckily, our next door
atrocious.
neighbours were so nice. They let us go in there. They gave us a cup of tea. They let us ring up.
the thing was we
housing
were stuck
association.
because you can't use our phone without electricity.
And our electricity cut off.
And
because
our
we've got an emergency
electricity
stop.
cut off. And Mark had about 10p credit on his phone.
I had no credit.
And I called the housing association and said, help! And they said, okay, we'll send out an emergency plumber, which they did.
We couldn't do anything.
And they turned off the water, and then they sent round an electrician to take the fuse out so as we couldn't put the electric on because we would have electrocuted ourselves. And he gave me the number for the insurance to get a hotel room. So, next door, bless them, let us use their phone so as I could phone up the insurer. And the insurer said, okay, go to Premier Inn. And we're like, Premier Inn? Going to Premier Inn. So luckily it didn't spread into the bedrooms, but we didn't know, we thought it was just a matter of time.
Yeah, and I made a friend with a fox that night.
So, that wasn't that night, that was the night after.
Was that at the Travel Lodge?
Yeah. So we grabbed
yeah.
some underwear and stuff, and Mark said, I'm staying here with the cats, and we went, okay, well that's up to you, because it's freezing in here. And we went to Premier Inn.
Lovely.
Which was lovely. It was, I thought,
They gave us a breakfast.
I thought it was a celebrity. It was an all-you-could-eat breakfast. It was lovely. And we came out of there.
Then I decided the next day I wasn't going into work because, like, obviously we'd had a flood. I phoned them up and said, no, I emailed them, didn't I? We've had a flood. And they said, all right, that's it. You know, like, oh no, I hope it gets better. And I went, no, just all right.
So we came home, couldn't use the phone. So we'd looked for a public phone.
Oh, that was fun.
We found 3 phones, all broken. We went to the library, and because I had an overdue book, they wouldn't let us use the internet at the library to email. So I went to our neighbour across the road, who wouldn't believe I was a neighbour, and more or less told us to F off. Went to the neighbour the other side. Didn't want to know. Just don't know who you are. Go away.
The thing is, though, I always say something. We had to come back here daily to look after the cats. And next door was so nice. They brought us food.
They were angels. We had to wait here on the night it happened for the plumber. We still had water coming down. And we were sitting here, we had no cooking facilities or anything, and next door said, she said, I'm doing dinner, do you want some?
And we was like, well, we don't want to say yes, but
I don't want to put you in an imposition, but if you don't mind. And the guy from next door come around and he looked like a takeaway man. He had like Tupperware tubs. And it was curried meat, wasn't it? I think it was beef.
Yeah, it's very spicy though, but I think we needed that with how cold it was.
And rice, and I can't see one. And it was absolutely lovely, and the lady next door was an absolute angel.
Yeah, because she did do rice for you because I can't have rice.
Yeah, and she was letting us use the phone.
Yeah.
She was an angel, wasn't she?
She let us in, made us a cup of tea.
Made us a cup of tea, let us use the phone. Bought teas round for us because we had Mark in here. Because Mark wouldn't go outside the door because he was worried about his PS4.
But he did stay at the Travel Lodge with us the 2 nights we were there.
And then we rang up after the night in Premier Inn, and they said, oh, you're in Travel Lodge, and I was like, well, that's a come down, isn't it?
Well, you didn't know at first, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I
and
was
then
like,
we got
okay. And it was Travel Lodge in Barking. Now, the news had just broke about, I think his name's Michael Paul, the grinder killer. And we were in the Travel Lodge in Barking, which actually looks out over St Mary's Churchyard where he left his victims. And Kaylee had gone off to work.
Grudgingly.
And me and Mark came out of Travel Lodge. We were going to get a cab back to here because we had to come back daily for cats. And I saw this lady wearing a purple coat with a big brooch, and she had a gorgeous dog with her on. Oh, and a lovely dog. A gorgeous dog. And Mark went, yeah, but she's a bit dressed up to go walking a dog this time in the morning. And I went, well, maybe she just likes to dress in the press. You know, you don't know. We got back to the premiere in that night, and it was on telly. Travelodge, sorry. Got back to Travelodge that night, and it was on the news that this port had been arrested, and the lady with the nice coat and the gorgeous dog was doing an interview because she'd found two of the victims. So we were like,
That's why she was dressed up.
that's why she was all dressed up, and that was lovely, wasn't it? And that was right on top of Christmas. And then they said, "Oh, we can't get you water or electricity." That was the end of November. We can't get you water and electricity for another week, which took us up to the 1st of December. And they brought us round.
Oh yeah, because the settee was over there.
Yeah, they brought us round some dehumidifiers,
Oh, they were fun.
which we were emptying every hour, and it was freezing when I was going. But we got the place more or less dried out.
You go away.
Siggy, will you go away? We got the place more or less dried out, and it was horrendous. So I'm in there with a mop trying to get the living room carpet back to life because it had
She
a lot of
did.
watermarks everywhere. It didn't look too bad when I finished.
No, it looked clean.
Me and my mop. But
And
so
disinfectant.
We've done that. Mopped and disinfected the living room floor. Done the same in the hallway and the stairs and the landing. It was horrific. It really was absolutely horrific. That was 4 years ago. We still haven't got it decorated because they won't send the decorators around because they said that. First of all, Peabody claimed it wasn't their fault. No, it's family was like that.
Yeah, the gravity tank when it wasn't their fault. Mm.
Yeah, it wasn't their fault, so we've got to decorate it ourselves. I haven't got a ladder. I live in a Victorian house. I've got 12-foot high ceilings. One day, I will get the guts and the ladder, and I will go up there and I will sort it
You
out
can't
myself.
do that.
Well, nobody else is going to. And I mean, the landing and ceiling is horrific as well, and they haven't done anything about that either. So
They painted the bathroom.
they painted a patch in the bathroom on the bathroom ceiling because for some unknown reason, it's not because the plaster's not sealed, but for some reason there's that little patch of plaster, that little patch of paint that keeps falling off.
Yeah, but look at the ceiling in here.
Yeah, well, that was when they went through, when they put the cladding on and they went through that pipe.
Oh, is that when
On
I
the
felt like
bath.
something was up my bum?
Yes.
Hmm.
Kaylee was having a bath and they were putting the cladding on and they actually drilled through a pipe to the bath. Kaylee thought that the drill was going to go up her bum. And
Petrifying.
the water came through the kitchen.
I was very scared.
And I said to the workman, I went, "That smells like bubble bath." And he goes, "You know, it smells like shampoo." And I went, "That's come out of her bath. She's in the bath."
You knew I was in the bath anyway.
Yeah,
I told you I was
I-
in the bath.
I went, "She's in the bath. You have just gone," because I didn't know whether it was water or what it was. No, it smells like shampoo, it's you. And you've gone through my bath pipe. And he went, "Oh, we've gone through the bath pipe." And Kaylee got out of the bath and he went up and checked and he went, "Oh, we've gone through the bath pipe." So they had to send a plumber around to sort out the bath pipe.
Although I will
They've
give
gone
them
through
one
it.
thing on that. They didn't actually rush me to get out of the bath or anything.
No, because they didn't know until you pulled the plug. And I mean, the workman had come round.
It smelled nice.
I've got to know him. He's a really nice guy. He's called Mark, and he's done a lot of odd jobs around here, and he is absolutely lovely. So if you're watching this, Mark, mwah.
I don't think you will be.
He
But...
might, you never know. And he was really sweet about it. So thank you, Mark. But we've had lots of disasters since we've lived here. Many disasters.
Yeah, like Gremlin.
Yeah,
Well,
well, Gremlin, that was.
Well, actually, okay, the first day we moved in, my son, Andy Boy, everybody knows he's my son, I don't have any children, he is my child, we were looking around the house, because obviously it was a new house, and someone had left the back door open. I don't know who it was. I think it was Mark.
I think it was me.
Was it you? Well, anyway, someone left the back door open, and Andy thought, freedom! You know, there was no fence in the back garden, because the fence from next door that side had collapsed. And
That's what I was trying to inspect to
I
see
was
if I could get it repaired.
trying to find Andy everywhere, and I could not find him, could I? And I was calling him, I was going into blind panic mode, I was freaking out, really badly freaking out. I went out. I went upstairs. I was calling him. I was downstairs. I was looking everywhere for him. I couldn't find him, and I thought maybe he's gone outside in the garden. And I went, I hope not, because he would have run away. So I went outside. I went, Andy boy, and he came running. And I was like,
But that was actually the day after we got here. On the night we got here, we just piled everything in the living room, and I'd come down to try and find something to wear for bed. And there was a cat that was identical to Andy looking in the window.
yeah.
living
And
room
you
window.
said, where's Andy?
And I've gone, Kaylee, where's Andy?
Right, he's with me.
And I went, because there's a cat that looks like Andy looking in the window. And Kaylee come down and she went, oh, he does look like Andy. And then he looked up and we noticed that he had all this scarring round his mouth. And it looked like he had a Chelsea smile, and Kaylee called him Smiler.
I haven't seen Smiler for ages. I don't think he's with us anymore.
Well, that was a long time ago. And he was a street cat, so.
I don't think Smiler's with us anymore.
And
I give all the cats Randy names though.
that was the first night we were here. Then we had to try and make some sense of the kitchen, and I was trying to plumb in the cooker. And
But the thing is, it was really bad because we were in the kitchen one night and it's really, really dark outside. Like,
we have no
Because
light outside. We are not on
it
the
is
street.
pitch black out there, right? There is no light at all. And we saw these like figures moving in the garden. I was like, what the hell is that? The kids from next door had come in our garden and my mum went and chased them out.
I must have looked pretty scary though. I had on a white nightgown and I just washed my hair and I looked like something at the ring. And I went out there and I went, what are you doing in the garden? And they were like screaming.
But the next day they came back over our garden and I went out there with my mum. We was like, get back over your own side. This is not your garden.
And I had actually...
And they're like, it is. Well, no, really, it's not. That's your garden.
I
This is
had
our
actually
garden.
called...
And they were really rude, weren't they?
I had actually called Family 118 to come and do the fence, which they...
Them kids were so
Well done.
rude, though.
They were very, very rude. I mean, it was a halfway house next door. And the kids that were here, they knew they were only going to be here for a matter of weeks, so they didn't really care how they talked to us. And I had great fun with the children from next door.
I did swear at
Quite a
them
lot.
at one point. Don't say that. I'll tell my mum. Tell your mum, then I don't care. Well, what's she going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, we did have a bit of hell from those for the first week or so.
I went, tell your mum. Go on, I want you to tell your mum.
And then the workman come to do the fence, and I was talking to the one workman about his tattoos, and he was stripping off in my kitchen showing me his tattoos. And they even cut a clothes prop for me, which I was eternally grateful for, and it's been nicked
Right
out of
next
my
door.
garden. It can only be next door, because
That side again.
we've got neighbours that side who are absolutely lovely, but nobody else can get into my garden either than that side or that side. It won't be that side. But I wouldn't put it past it. I don't know them. They have only been there for about 2 months. They're new people.
Yeah, and every time they come in and out of their house and they see us, because we smoke on the doorstep and stuff, they give us the dirtiest of looks. And I'm sorry, we've been here longer than them.
Well, I'm sorry, but they can give me a dirty look tomorrow when I ask him to cut down that tree.
And the thing is, right, they've got like 4 cars. And we have, outside our house, we have a parking space. Good for when we get a cab to the shops and back. They keep parking in the parking space.
I'm disabled.
But it's okay, because once I've done my driving lessons and we get that disabled parking space out there, if they park in it, they're screwed. Because I will call the police. And I will get them
Because I
arrested.
am actually disabled. I'm registered disabled. So, but when they park outside,
Means I can get a car on the
when
cheap.
they park outside my house, and we've got to get a cab, and we've got a month's worth of shopping. Yesterday, he had to park across the road and down a bit.
Yeah, and like, there was cars.
And
literally.
cars won't stop and let you cross.
It's a one-way street as well, so it's even worse. And
So,
they're so arrogant around here, and they just like go. It's like you've got like 3 bags of shopping in your hands, and they're just like, So,
yeah, not one person that's passed. Not
but
one.
the thing is, because she's got disabilities, I should be able to get a car on the cheap.
And once we were going to karaoke and we got a cab, and I went to get in the cab and I nearly got run over.
Yeah, like idiot on a scooter. Although saying that, there was this. When we moved in down here, at the end of the road there was what were they? Garages, weren't they?
Yeah.
And this guy, this pizza delivery guy, my mum was going to kill him. He actually swerved to hit a cat.
Thing was, at the end of the road we had lockups, and they were pretty much abandoned.
There was that cat, wasn't there? Had
And there
babies.
was a feral cat who'd gone in there and had kittens.
We used to feed her tuna. She
And
was
we used
lovely.
to go down there and we used to give her tuna and stuff because she was trying to feed kittens and she didn't have enough food to survive,
She
so
was
we were
lovely.
going down there and feeding her. And this Pix delivery guy, she came out, obviously she was looking for something to eat, and she came out and he was actually swerving on his boat to try and hit her. And I went and I chased him. He's on a motorbike, I'm chasing him.
But she went, "Oh, you idiot! She's got kit." Well, she didn't say idiot. It was more of a harsh
Yeah,
word. But she went,
it wasn't nice.
"That cat's got kittens." She went, "How would you like it if someone came and ran over your mother?" And I was like, "Oh."
Mind you, he slowed down.
I haven't seen him since.
But,
You don't go around trying to hit cats anymore, anyway. Oh, what about the time I was going to work? I worked quite a lot here. I am not at the moment. I'm loving it because I'm free to do this. But I was going to work, and there was these two kittens. Oh, kittens.
I'd kill for
I just noticed who was sitting,
Don't
who's
worry,
laying
I'd
there.
kill for a J12.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, there was these two kittens, and I'm very funny about animals. As everybody knows, I love animals more than people. And there were these two little kittens, and they were in the road, and I was like, no. And this guy in a car, actually, I ran to get the kittens out the road, and I was literally by the curb, and he like skimmed me with his car, and I fell backwards. I didn't go to work that day.
They cannot pass.
I'll go and get you one.
Yeah, you need the bottle opener. And once she went to the pizza shop with her friend, and the man, there was a bloke and was he on a bike or in a car?
There was a guy on the bike and a guy in a car. He nearly hit the guy on the bike.
Yeah, you can tell the story while I open me. It's not beer, it's J2O.
Alright, me and my friend were going to the chicken shop. Now, my friend is like, Michelle, skinny little stick.
Yeah, Michelle.
You know, she's very pretty.
No, she ain't, she's Michelle.
Well, you know. And this is Michelle. She's Michelle. And we were going to the shop to get some food. And it's Michelle who noticed this, actually. This guy, I wasn't even wearing anything particularly low cut. I was wearing work clothes. And this guy nearly hit this guy on a bike because he was staring at me, at my boobs.
And she didn't even like the Monday night.
I didn't. I know my nails look terrible. I'm sorry.
See, at the moment, this is the official Telstra toilet bowl uniform. At the moment. She's not wearing the Telstra toilet bowl uniform.
Don't grow up. It's a trap.
I normally wear spots, but I was running out of spotty stuff. So I haven't been wearing spots for a few days. I was wearing spots for Morning Shop yesterday, but I haven't been wearing my trademark spots. So we've made this.
No, we haven't made it a
Because
uniform.
we've got about 3 or 4 of them.
Okay, so she's
wear them
made it
a
a
lot.
uniform and didn't tell me nothing about
Yeah,
it.
we've got a few of these, so we wear these quite a lot. And I said,
Comfy, that's why.
it's more like Telstra toilet bowl uniform. And she went, it is like a uniform. And then today she's not in her uniform.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've gone a bit Disney today.
But does it matter? Does a uniform matter? No.
As long as I'm doing my job right. Shouldn't matter what I'm wearing.
Well, do your job then.
I'm doing my job. I'm talking to...
Demonstrate something.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, so today I used glitter there and glitter there. I did actually use glitter on my lips and glitter on my eyes, but yeah, I've done my job. That's my job. But yeah, so she's thrown me off tangent. Or what I was going to say.
And disasters.
What disaster was it?
The boobs.
Oh yeah, the guy. And then we was coming downtown, me and my mum and someone, and this guy yelled something out of the van, didn't he?
No,
He
we
did?
were going to cross the road. And we were standing at the zebra crossing. And the bloke drove over that zebra crossing a slice possibly could stuck his head out the window of his pickup and went, wow.
That was it, wow.
And he got a mouthful off me. I'm not going to tell you what I said because we're family friendly.
Yeah.
And also the cash point.
Yes! Oh, that was hilarious!
Kaylee will fill you in on this one. That was Christmas.
No,
as
you
well.
can.
It was Christmas time again, and we had Michelle with us, and the trolley, which was called Charlie. It was one of those trolleys, and bags and various other things. I was shopping on the high street, and I said to Kaylee, "I've got to go over and get some money." So she went, "Okay." So I've gone over to the cash point. Now across the road to the cash point there was a bench. So Kay and Michelle was sitting on the bench.
I was sitting there smoking.
Get some money. I was at the cash point, and some lady she wasn't no lady, pushed me out of the way while I was waiting for my money to come out. I yelled out something like, "Are you thieving, beep? Move out of the way, I'm waiting for my money to come out." Kaylee's heard it.
China flew across the road.
She flew across the road. I thought it was like the Avenging Fury. She'd come across like,
I was actually going to hit the woman. It was that bad.
well, try and say without swearing what you said.
I can't
Well,
say it without
like-
swearing.
Okay, Karen, I'll beep it. Tap me when you need to beep.
Oi, you stupid.
Beep.
What the
Beep.
do you think you're doing? My mum is trying to get her money out, and I can't remember what I said. And you're trying to steal off of her. You
Beep.
stupid.
Beep. Beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep.
And I really went mad, and I said, if you don't
Beep.
off now, I will hit you, because she was like being really aggressive towards me and my mum. And my mum is disabled.
Yeah,
and
but
I said,
wasn't actually standing there innocently. I had my walking stick as well.
also said, you stupid.
Beep.
She's disabled.
I had my walking stick because Michelle was across the road with the trolley. So I had my walking stick and I was brandishing it like it was a weapon.
And
or
I was
something.
actually like that.
And she was going to hit her. I was going to assault with my walking stick, and she went,
Tiggy.
"I'll have you arrested for assault." And I went, "Yeah, neg, I believe that this little lady in ill health assaulted you."
And the butcher came out and he went, well, I'm not going to call the police. And I'll witness that you done something to her.
Yeah, the butcher was my friend.
And I think one of another
The butcher
person,
gives me discounts.
there was a grocery person that we didn't see anything. All we saw was you trying to steal off of her.
That was my grocer as well.
And I was just like, so what are you going to do about it then, huh?
I've just spent a lot of money with them too.
And she didn't know, but she threatened to hit me, and they were like, well, we didn't hear anything.
No, so,
And they said, and if she does hit you, we won't see anything either.
yeah. So, it's good to be friends with the butcher and the greengrocer. 'Cause-
Oh no, Tiggy!
oh,
Tiggy, move! Sorry about that, stupid cat.
so I'm friends with both the butcher and the grocer. And, they was my alibis that I hadn't done. That was being a good girl.
And they also said that if I did anything, I wouldn't say it.
And that was Christmas shopping again.
We had like the trolley was literally full, and we had bags hanging off of bags on the
Well,
trolley. That reminds me of the Michelin Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leanna's seen us when we do our Christmas shopping, and we've got a trolley, and we have so many bags hanging off it. It looks like 3
the
trolleys.
cushions,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
Michelin Man.
We went
Oh,
shopping
no.
one year, and I had no cushions. And they were selling some cushions in the pound shop.
No pea shop.
Not in a play shop, and I said, I need 6 cushions. And Kaylee was like, okay, because she thought, stupidly, that they were going to go on the trolley. What she hadn't realised was, I hadn't really started shopping. So, first of all, we had 6 cushions in the trolley,
I was happy about that.
and then we started shopping. And then 3 cushions were in the trolley, and Kaylee was carrying 3.
No,
and
I wasn't.
then-
They were hanging on the trolley. It was fine until we got on the bus.
And then 6 cushions went into the bags. And they were on the trolley, and Kaylee was fine. And then we had to get on the bus with this loaded trolley. I mean, the trolley was full, and we had about 3 or 4 bags, other than the bags of cushions, that were full of shopping. So I said, I'll get the trolley and the bags on. You deal with this bag and the 2 bags of cushions.
There was nowhere to sit. It was packed. The bus.
There was nowhere to sit. I managed to wedge the trolley into a little corner of the bus, and I was standing by it. And Kaylee looked like the Michelin Man with these 6 cushions. She had 2 bags with 6 cushions in, and she was about 4 times wider than normal, standing on the bus like the Michelin Man. Finally, when we got
And
to
the thing is, what made it worse was I was standing there and she was laughing at me.
And when we finally got to our stop, nobody wanted to move on the bus for us to get our trolley off. So I was using my trolley as a battering ram, and Kaylee was using the cushions as a battering ram. So
But I was waddling because I had all these goods like that.
we got off the bus, and Kaylee took the cushions upstairs and some of the bags, and I was trying to manoeuvre the
I
trolley.
didn't take the cushions upstairs. I put them in the living room because they were cushions for the living room.
You took them upstairs. We lived upstairs.
Oh, you mean upstairs? I thought you meant upstairs in the house.
No.
Oh.
So Kaylee took the cushions and some of the bags upstairs.
Like this.
While I manoeuvred the trolley upstairs,
Yeah.
which took some time. And we finally got it
It
upstairs.
was like 6 flights of stairs or something, wasn't it?
A lot.
As it went round.
It was masonette, so it was literally a house on top of a
I
house.
think it was 6 flights of stairs.
Yeah, so we went up the stairs with the trolley, which was very heavy. And we managed to get to the top of the stairs with the trolley, and we got in. And that was that. That was the journey on the bus. And the day when the horses were in the street.
Hang on, best of all. There was also this time when I was working at my Selfridge and they'd just finished cleaning the stairs. Right, this is how dangerous it was. I've run down the stairs to go to work. The steps were wet. I've slipped, hadn't I? And not only did I whack my ankle off of the wall, but I had a pretty impressive Tyrannosaurus Rex bruise on my leg because the cleaners didn't care. And they were not very nice.
Well, Jan can testify to this because I've seen Shannon fall over many
Yeah,
times.
and they didn't care. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to work. And then I had to ring up work and say, I can't come in because I nearly broke my ankle.
At least it wasn't stinky.
No,
Usually it
but,
smelled of wee.
like, you know, I could have broken my ankle and I had to ring up work, miss a day of work, miss a day of pay because I nearly broke my
Quite
ankle
often
upstairs.
it smelled of wee. Maybe it didn't smell of wee that day because it was disinfectant. It's still not.
Bloody hell.
But, what was I saying? Another time.
Another one. I can't remember. It wasn't the
But,
first
I mean, it was always disaster after disaster after disaster. Always has been with us.
Yeah.
That is why we like you guys, because you can hear about it and you don't have to have these disasters happening to you.
We're probably the most unluckiest people on the planet, actually, to be fair.
Probably. But, see, it's nice to hear that some people have got things worse than you have, you know, because, I mean, okay, we've got a roof over our head, we've got food in our bellies, but
Yeah, a lot of food.
there is always something going wrong somewhere along the line.
Yeah, we're not very lucky.
So, let us know in the comments, are you lucky?
If you are, then I don't like you anymore.
If you are, then how did you do it? Can you come and rub our hands and give us a bit of the luck, you know?
Yeah, because we ain't got any of that. Oh,
You,
that was a loud bang in my ears.
with my black print. I thought I was going to lose my cup.
Stupid cat. Stupid
So
cat.
if you're lucky, come and rub our hands. and pass
Or
a
just
bit of
give
luck
us your secret on how you got lucky,
Yeah.
because
on. We haven't.
I've had like, from October, I've had boom, 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 boom of bad luck. So if you can give me some tips on good luck, I would love it.
We have had breakups, we've had stillborn babies, we've had fire-ins, We've had the coronavirus hit as well. But the coronavirus hit everyone. But
No,
And we
got it.
and we got stuck. Yeah, well, I swear we had coronavirus. But let us know if you're lucky like us. And Kaylee got a fortune cookie once.
Oh, yeah. Right, fortune cookies are supposed to be lucky, right? You're supposed to get a nice little message on them. Things are as bad as they seem and everyone is out to get you. What? Me?
That was the message in her fortune cookie.
Always me! I'm just like the unluckiest person on the planet because everything that's going to go wrong...
It's not just you, it's me as well.
I've had it worse than you this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything that's going to go wrong has gone wrong. And it always does.
And
But
last year she thought I was dead.
this year I have had the worst luck. This year has crapped on me worse than anything else. I have had the worst year of my life.
And last year she thought I was dead.
I told them about that before.
No, not then.
Oh, and the giggling corpse.
The RTA.
RTA.
Big road traffic accident then.
Oh yeah, it was the horses you was going to say about. Yeah, I was going to work because I do that a lot. And there was this little tent up and they closed the road off and I was like, okay, how the hell am I going to get into work? And then they said that there was this woman who'd got run over. And I was like, hang on, my mum went shopping
A
today.
waddling lady with a trolley.
And they said, and she looked about, well, she said she was in between her 40s and the 50s. And I was like, okay. And I was like, this is not getting any better for me. And they said that she got jammed in between two buses and they killed her. And I was like,
And
right.
the fact that she had a trolley didn't help.
And I was like, okay, so, crap. So I got into work.
And you saw all the blood on the road.
Yeah, there was a ton of blood. And I was like, oh dear. So I got into work and I said, I need to ring my mum, like, now. It's an emergency. And they said, why? I went, because there was an accident down the road. I said, and my mum has gone out. I said, and there was a woman with a trolley. I said, my mum might be dead. So I got into work and I rang the phone and no one was here. So I was like, oh dear. Anyway, I was working and I tried to struggle through most of the day because they wasn't going to let me go home. And I rang again. No answer. I was like, crap. So I got out of work and I rang again and still no answer. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I came home and I knocked on the door and no one was here. And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous because it's like gone 7 o'clock at night. So I got in, I came in and I was like, asked the person who was here, where's mum? And they went, I don't know. I said, she hasn't come home. They was like, no. And I was like, crap. So I rang Mark's mobile. He didn't answer. I was like, about an hour after they come strolling in the door. I was like, I thought you was dead. And she was like, why? I went, because there's a big traffic road thing down the end of the road. And I put on the news, she went, oh, that wasn't me. I was like, I was at work, panicking, thinking you was dead. And she was like, no, I'm alive, I'm here.
Yeah, but then she had a meeting with work. And it was like 10 o'clock at night. I was trying to reach her because East Ham is not the safest place on earth.
It's Faisal's fault.
I was trying to reach her and I couldn't reach her. I was panicking. I even phoned the police. I was that worried.
Yeah. Well, when someone was supposed to come home and they were late, like really late, they didn't get in till like 3 o'clock in the morning and we rang the police because we were panicking. And there was that time with the horses that you was going to mention.
We lived in Shubra at the time. And Kaylee loves animals, as you know. And someone was having a wedding and they'd got the coach, the big Landau,
Lucky, yes.
with 2 big horses. Colonel and...
Brigadier, innit?
Brigadier and Colonel.
Was it Colonel?
I think so.
No, I think it was-
General.
No, Brigadier and... I swear it's 2 Bs.
Oh, I can't remember.
Brigadier and... something, but I swear it was 2 Bs anyway.
Well, anyway, 2 big horses. So I've made a fuss of the horses because I do things like that. And I said, I said to Mark, I've got to tell Kaylee about this. So I went running in. Kaylee's asleep. Kaylee, you got your eyebrows on. You say you got to see down the end of the road. Come on, get up. Yeah, no. Get up. You love this. You've got to draw your eyebrows on those, so get up. No. Just get up. Get up. So she gets up. She's standing there. Okay.
Sounds like that when I wish I actually had eyebrows.
We've gone running downstairs, and as soon as she saw the horses, she was like, "Ah!" and went bounding up to them. And he's going, "Oh, I love you. And I was like, and we started talking to the blokes with a coach.
Cuddling the horses, stroking the horses.
And they were quite nice. And they were talking to them.
The horses were cuddling there. I loved it.
Kaylee loved it. And there are pictures on Facebook.
There's a picture of me on Facebook.
The expression on her face.
You went, oi! And I can't redo that face though. That was like a once in a lifetime look. Look, I can't do it. It's like never going to be captured again. It's like, it's the weirdest face ever.
So, please, let us know in the comments if you're as lucky as us. Because we're really lucky. Not. So, let us know, comment, share, like, subscribe. We want to come out of the teens. Because you're horrible when you're a teenager. And we'd like to be in the 20s.
Subscribe, like, comment, and click the notification bell. And you'll know whenever we do a new video, which will be every day.
And we will be streaming very soon.
Yes.
Doing a live.
That will be
stream.
sometime this week. But I'm confused on whether to do it on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, or I might do all three. Not on the same day.
No.
But like one after the other.
That would be very weird.
It would. Hi.
So we will be doing a live stream very soon.
3 live streams.
Well, we'll be doing one first, obviously.
Yeah.
And we'll let you. I mean, if you ding the dingy bell, then you know.
Ding the dingy bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will, because
Ding.
we're doing a video of when the videos are going to be.
Yeah, if you ding the dingy
Well, it's
bell.
not video, it's live streaming, so.
Yeah, but if you ding the dingy bell, then you know.
And then you can give me a comment live.
And we'll read it out.
Live.
And you'll be known who watches this. So.
Nobody.
Well, there's 13 people, so no.
Hello, Baba.
And we will know. And we can acknowledge that you've messaged.
And we'll give you shout outs because they'll see your names.
And who knows, if this goes well, if this live stream at home goes well, we might do one outside.
In the garden.
I don't know, we might go outside that one.
In the garden.
It's scary.
Actually, that's not a garden, is it?
It's a little bit for the bins.
Nothing.
It used to be a little front garden, but it ain't.
Although we can actually get like 2 chairs there and set up a little table.
Yeah, but that's where they put the bloom. That's where that flipping tree is.
Yeah, I know.
Next door had a tree grow. Now anyone else responsible would have dug it out because of the roots
That side
and,
again.
and the house. But they just let it grow, and occasionally they chop it down. I'm going to be nagging them again very soon to chop it down again because it's got very high.
But yeah, so we're going to be doing a live stream soon.
Hello, Andrew.
And we'll let you know when it's going to be. And no, don't do that. I thought you was going to just go there, but you didn't, did you? We'll let you know what it's going to be, and we'll read out your comments live, give you shout outs live, and hopefully get more subscribers, because this is what I'm wanting from it, is more subscribers, more likes, more comments, more notification bell ringing, you know, just anything, because I'm trying to make this channel grow. At least a little bit.
And let's face
Help
it,
me out.
does anybody else do as much with stuff as we do?
Does anyone post as, like, okay, I know there is a few YouTubers that post every day, like Daniel Matt Smith, and he's more interested than us, but, you know, no one is as unlucky as us. Nobody has will tell you that. Will you stop it? Will tell you how bad their life is. Like, and this is all true.
And we do it in an amusing way. We're not like, we got trapped in Lanzarote.
No one will tell.
And then Barcelona kicked it off.
No one has cats that are as in your face as ours. Even the camera, like, hey! Like this one here is being a pain in my bum.
When we review a product, we're very honest about it.
That didn't know.
We will tell you the pros and cons.
Yeah, because we told you that vocal zones taste like cack.
That they work.
Gaga.
And we are very honest in our reviews. And we're very honest about the weird crap that happens to us.
And Leanne, I will do the Egyptian makeup. I'm just trying to sort of get some ideas in my head. I know what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to.
Like,
inspiration needs to hit me.
You know what we're like. Even when I do a cake design, it takes a little while for me to decide on what I'm going to do, and then I drove them.
Because there is about 20 different styles of Egyptian makeup, and I'm just trying to sort of.
Well, would you like Cleopatra and FTT? Give us some ideas.
Yeah, because I'll do it. I've got the stuff I need to do it. I just need to sort of. I've got to wait for inspiration to hit me.
Would you like Cleopatra? Would you like Nefertiti? Or would you like that completely original?
Cleopatra will probably be better.
Yeah.
For me.
But you've got the Scorpion King and things like that. So if you want something more original, something that's like a mixture of Nefertiti and Cleopatra, then let her know.
To be honest, my makeup is pretty much Egyptian anyway.
Yeah. It's
like, not this one, but the other one.
It's very Egyptian influence.
There's 2 flicks. The reason, and I got that idea from the Mummy. So yeah, you can't get more Egyptian than that.
So yeah,
let us know. Yeah, it's simple to do.
And I haven't forgotten the yogurt.
No, just
we haven't had a chance to get to Asda. But we haven't forgotten it. We will be doing it, and I will be showing you what I do with yogurt.
But that sounds wrong.
Really bad,
we don't go out that often, especially now that lockdown's on.
I do a different dessert with yogurt. It's
that
not
sounds
just
better.
yogurt. So, as soon as we can get out and get that stuff, we will.
Yeah.
Because it's not that easy for us, because I'll tell you what happened when I went to Barking. Mark is my carer.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was not fun.
I heard about it, I didn't see it.
We went to Barking. He was taking me through Barking Town Centre. I'm holding his hand. I couldn't see where I was going. And instead of guiding me around things, he was just walking along, sort of dragging me along. And I got a blouse wrapped around my head. I freaked out because I couldn't see. I'm going, no. Mark's turned around and sort of took a step back because he thought I had no head. And the bloke who on the stall was chasing me going, you're stealing a blouse. And I was like, no, I'm not. I can't see. And how often does that happen? He's going.
Only to you.
He's going, you're stealing a blouse off my stall. And I went, no, I'm not. And Mark sort of took a step back because he thought I'd lost my head. And I'm going, you silly beep. What the beep do you think you're beeping doing? Because I beeping was following you, and beep, you pulled me through this.
Okay, stop beeping.
Yeah.
Right.
Family
I
friendly.
think that's everything.
Yeah. So, we shall see you tomorrow on Tales from the Toilet Bowl. Be kind.
Oh, I might do
considerate.
something in a second. So.
She always does it. She talks when I'm saying be kind and considerate. Be kind and considerate.
I might do something in a minute.
And we will see you next time on Tales from the Toilet Bowl. Bye.